Anthony Daniels, the man who brought C-3PO, the galaxy's most anxious protocol droid, to life. From A New Hope in 1977 to The Rise of Skywalker in 2019, Daniels is the only actor to appear in all 9 Skywalker Saga films, plus spin-offs, animated series, and even theme park rides. But there is so much more to his story than golden armor. So grab your lightsaber and let's get it started. Anthony Daniels was born on February 21, 1946 in Salisbury, England, to a plastic company exec and homemaker. Growing up in middle-class family, he was a shy kid who loved building model airplanes. Not exactly the type you would pin for sci-fi icon. He studied law for 2 years but dropped out, realizing it was not his passion. Instead, he turned to acting, training at the prestige Rose Bruford College and later joined the National Theatre of Great Britain. Daniels had a knack for mime and physical performance, skills that would later define his career. By the mid-1970s, he was doing radio plays and stage work, but his break came in 1975 when a young director named George Lucas was casting for a little space opera called Star Wars. Here is where it gets wild. Daniels almost turned down C-3PO. In 1975, Lucas was scouring London for actors, and Daniels' agent got him a meeting. Lucas showed him a concept painting of C-3PO by Ralph McQuarrie, a gleaming humanoid droid with a stiff Art Deco design inspired by Metropolis's Maria robot. Daniels thought it looked ghastly and said no. He was not a sci-fi fan. His taste leaned towards Shakespeare, not spaceships. But Lucas saw something in him. After a second meeting, Daniels' love for mime kicked in. He saw C-3PO as a character he could bring to life through movements, not just voice. Lucas cast him on the spot, no audition needed. Fun fact, Daniels was so broke at the time he could not afford a taxi to the meeting. He walked miles to meet Lucas. Filming A New Hope in 1976 was no picnic. Daniels, at 5 feet 9 inches, was stuffed into 20-pound fiberglass and aluminum suit that took 2 hours to put on. It was so rigid he could barely move. His first day on set in Tunisia, the suit broke, cutting his leg, and he had to be carried to the set because he couldn't walk on sand. "I felt like medieval knight in armor," he told The Guardian in 2019. The suit had no cooling system, so he would sweat buckets in the desert heat, losing 12 pounds in a single day. And get this, he couldn't even sit down between takes. The crew had to prop him against a board. Despite the pain, Daniels gave C-3PO his prissy, fretful personality, improvising lines like
"We're doomed"
that became fan favorites. Released in 1977, A New Hope grossed $775 million, adjusted $3.5 billion, and C-3PO became an instant icon. Let's talk about his voice. Proper, British, and perpetually worried. Daniels created C-3PO's voice himself, drawing from his theater training. He based it on a mix of snooty English butler and his own grandmother's fussy demeanor. But here is a rare tidbit. Lucas initially wanted a used car salesman vibe for C-3PO and had another actor, Mel Blanc, yes, the voice of Bugs Bunny, to record a test. Daniels fought to keep his own voice and Lucas relented. And that was a good call. Daniels' voice is now inseparable from the character, used in everything from the Clone Wars to LEGO Star Wars games. Daniels returned for The Empire Strikes Back 1980 and Return of the Jedi 1983, enduring the suit's upgrades, like a lighter plastic version that still pinched his skin. In Empire, he got to play a hero carrying Chewbacca's part on Hoth, And in Jedi, he became a god to the Ewoks, a scene he loved filming despite the suit's heat in California's redwood forests. The original trilogy grossed over $1.8 billion, adjusted nowadays $5 billion. And Daniel's chemistry with Kenny Baker's R2-D2, those bickering droid moments, became a franchise cornerstone. Off-screen though, Daniels and Baker did not get along. Daniels wrote that Baker was distant, a feud that lasted decades. Daniels also appeared in the prequels, The Phantom Menace 1999, Attack of the Clones 2002, and Revenge of the Sith 2005, playing a younger C-3PO pre-gold plating. In Phantom Menace, he wore a naked C-3PO suit with exposed wires, a nod to Anakin building him. The prequel grossed $2.5 billion combined, but Daniels faced new challenges. CGI was taking over, and he worried C-3PO might be fully digital. Lucas assured him he would always be the droid's heart, even doing motion capture for animated scenes. Here is a rare gem for you. Daniels once rapped as C-3PO. In 1983, during the Return of the Jedi hype, he recorded the Ewok Celebration rap for a Star Wars Kids album. What can you get a Wookiee for Christmas? It is as bonkers as it sounds. Imagine C-3PO dropping bars like, "Yup nup, we're the Ewoks, we don't stop." You can still find it on YouTube, it's a cult classic among fans. Another oddity, Daniels hosted a C-3PO cooking segment on the Muppet Show in 1980, teaching Swedish chef how to make binary bread. These quirky moments show how Daniels embraced the character's pop culture status even outside of the films. When Disney bought Lucasfilm in 2012, Daniels thought his C-3PO days were over, but J.J. Abrams called him for The Force Awakens 2015, and Daniels returned, thrilled to work with the new stars like Daisy Ridley and John Boyega. He appeared in The Last Jedi 2017 and The Rise of Skywalker 2019, completing the Skywalker Saga. In Rise, C-3PO gets an emotional arc. His memory is wiped to translate the Sith dagger, saying, "I'm taking one last look at my friends." Daniels called it his favorite moment in Saga. He also popped up in Rogue One 2016 and voiced C-3PO in Solo 2018, Obi-Wan Kenobi 2022, and Ahsoka 2023. Fun fact: Daniels is the only actor to work on every live-action Star Wars project, 12 in total, plus theme park rides like Star Tours. Daniels' film career outside Star Wars is slimmer. He is often typecast as C-3PO, but he did play a human role in The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring 2001, well, sort of. He voiced Legolas's stand-in for a scene where Orlando Bloom wasn't available, a blink and miss credit. He also played a priest in the British comedy I Bought a Vampire Motorcycle 1990, showing off his comedic chops sunsuit. Daniels tried to break out with roles in films like The Country Diary of Edwardian Lady 1984, but Hollywood kept calling him back to the droid. He has leaned into it, writing books like I Am C-3PO and hosting Star Wars events worldwide. Anthony Daniels' career is a testament to resilience. He turned a role he initially rejected into a 40-year legacy, grossing over $10 billion across the Skywalker Saga alone. His mime skills gave C-3PO a soul, those stiff gestures, that worried tone, making him a fan favorite despite the physical toll. But let's be real, Hollywood typecast him hard. Daniels has spoken about the isolation of playing C-3PO hidden in a suit, often ignored on set while actors like Mark Hamill got the spotlight. In I Am C-3PO, he writes about feeling like a prop at times, a sentiment echoed by other costume actors like Kenny Baker. The industry's bias towards visible stars often overlooks performers like Daniels, who bring magic through movements, not face time. And yet Daniels' impact is undeniable. He has inspired generations of fans, exposed in 2024 still called C-3PO the heart of Star Wars. And his 2023 Ahsoka cameo sparked trending hashtags like C-3PO forever. In 2025, as Star Wars expands with new films like The Mandalorian and Grogu, Daniels' legacy as the franchise's constant remind us that even the smallest role or droids can leave the biggest mark. He's 79 now, still active, and reportedly working on a new memoir, proof that the Golden Droid story isn't over. And what is your favorite C-3PO moment? We are exploring more unsung hero of the galaxy. Stay tuned. May the Force be with you, and we will see you in the next video.